Protein biosynthesis is a core biological process occurring within every living cell. Proteins perform a variety of critical functions as enzymes, as structural proteins, or as hormones. Therefore, proteins are crucial biological components of living cell. Protein synthesis can be broadly divided into two phases, that is, transcription and translation. During transcription, a section of DNA called gene encoding a protein produce a complementary RNA called mRNA by the enzyme called RNA polymerase. During translation, the mRNA is read by the ribosomes, which uses the nucleotide sequences of mRNA to determine the sequence of amino acids. In both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, the process of translation occurs within the cytoplasm where the ribosomes are present. Components of translation. mRNA. During translation, mRNA nucleotides are read as codons of 3 bases. Each codon codes for a particular amino acid. The mRNA is always read in 5' to 3' polarity. The mRNA in prokaryotes is polycistronic and in eukaryotes it is monocistronic. A continuous stretch of codons that begins with a start codon and ends with a stop codon is called open reading frame. tRNA. It is an adapter molecule which carry one specific amino acid from the cytoplasm to the site of protein synthesis, that is ribosome. Every tRNA molecule possesses an anticodon that is complementary to the mRNA codons, and at the opposite end lies the attached amino acid. There are about 40 different types of tRNA to carry 20 amino acids. Ribosomes. They are the protein factories found in the cytoplasm of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. In eukaryotes, some ribosomes are also found attached to the surface of endoplasmic reticulum. The ribosome is a complex made up of protein and RNA in almost equal amounts. It comprises of two sections called subunits. The smaller subunit is the place where the mRNA binds and it decodes the codon of mRNA, while the larger subunit is the place where the tRNA carrying amino acid binds. The prokaryotic ribosome is of 70S type. The larger subunit is of 50S and smaller is of 30S type. The larger 50S subunit consists of 31 proteins, 23S rRNA and 5S rRNA. The smaller 30S subunit consists of 21 proteins and 16S rRNA. The eukaryotic ribosome is of 80S type. The larger subunit is of 60S and smaller is of 40S type. The larger 60S subunit consists of 46 proteins, 28S rRNA and 5S rRNA, while the smaller 40S subunit consists of 33 proteins and 18S rRNA. The larger ribosomal subunit consists of 3 sites, namely P site, A site, and E site. P site or peptidyl site is the second binding site for tRNA in the ribosome. During protein translation, the P site holds the tRNA which is linked to the growing polypeptide chain. A site or amino acyl site is the first binding site in the ribosome. It accepts an incoming tRNA bound to an amino acid. E site or exit site is the site where an uncharged tRNA goes after releasing the amino acid. Many different varieties of enzymes plays very important role in translation. Among them, the first one is amino acyl tRNA synthetase. It is an enzyme that attaches the appropriate amino acid onto its tRNA. It does so by catalyzing the esterification of specific amino acid to the 3' end of the tRNA to form amino acyl tRNA. In human, there are 20 different types of amino acyl tRNA made by 20 different types of amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzyme. Peptidyl transferase is an enzyme that catalyzes the addition of an amino acid residue in order to grow the polypeptide chain in protein synthesis. It is located in the large ribosomal subunit where it catalyzes the peptide bond formation. Amino acids, these are the raw materials or precursors used in protein synthesis. Translation factors functions to coordinate and catalyze the synthesis of polypeptide from mRNA template by ribosomes. It includes initiation factor, elongation factor, and termination factors. Mechanism of translation. Amino acylation of tRNA. The process of binding the specific amino acid to the tRNA is called amino acylation of tRNA. During this process, the enzyme first binds to ATP and then to corresponding amino acid to form amino acyl adenylate. This amino acyl adenylate complex then binds to the appropriate tRNA molecules DHU arm and the amino acid is transferred at 3' end of the tRNA. Initiation. For translation to begin, the start codon, that is AUG, must be recognized. This is a codon specific to the amino acid methionine, which is always the first amino acid in a polypeptide chain. In prokaryotes, at 5' end of mRNA, the smaller ribosomal subunit binds to a conserved sequence called Shine-Dalgarno sequence. It is present 8 bases upstream from the initiator codon. It is having the conserved sequences like AGG, AGGU. The 16S rRNA of smaller ribosomal subunit contain UCC, UCC, UAA, which complementarily pairs with Shine-Dalgarno sequence of mRNA so that the smaller ribosomal subunit binds to the mRNA. In eukaryotes, there is an area near the 5' end of the mRNA molecule known as untranslated region or leader sequence. It contains a ribosome binding site. The conserved sequence that functions as translation initiation site in most eukaryotic mRNA is called Kozak sequence. It is having the conserved sequences GCC, ACC or GCC, GCC. At 5' cap of mRNA, the smaller ribosomal subunit binds along with initiation factor. Once the small subunit has bound, a special tRNA molecule called fMIT-tRNA recognizes the initiator codon and binds to it along with initiation factor. It is called fMIT-tRNA because this tRNA molecule carries formilated methionine. In the next stage, the large ribosomal subunit joins the complex. At this point, the initiation factors are released. This complex of small ribosomal subunit, fMIT-tRNA, larger ribosomal subunit is called initiation complex. The ribosomal complex is now ready for protein synthesis. Elongation. When the ribosome is assembled, two tRNA binding sites are created. These are designated as P site and A site. At the beginning, the initiator tRNA is in the P site and the A site will be filled by the tRNA with the anticodon that is complementary to the codon next to the start codon, along with elongation factors. When the second tRNA base pairs with appropriate codon in the mRNA, the enzyme called peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of a peptide bond between the two amino acids present while breaking the bond between fMIT and its tRNA. At this point, the whole ribosome shifts over one codon. This shift requires elongation factor called EFG. The energy from the hydrolysis of GTP is also required for the shifting of ribosomes. The result of the shift is that uncharged tRNA that was in the P site previously is ejected and the tRNA which was in the A site is now in the P site. The A site is free to accept another tRNA molecule with appropriate anticodon for the next codon in the mRNA. The next tRNA base pairs with the next codon and peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of peptide bond between the new amino acid and growing polypeptide chain. Once again, the ribosome shifts over so that the uncharged tRNA is expelled and the tRNA with the peptide chain occupies the P site. That is why this site is called the peptidyl site. After the shift, it contains the tRNA with growing peptide chain. The other site will accept a tRNA with an amino acid, hence it is named as aminoacyl site. The process of shifting of ribosome and peptide bond formation continues over and over until terminator codon is encountered. The elongation process is fairly rapid, with prokaryotic ribosomes able to add 15 amino acid to a growing polypeptide chain every second. The process is also relatively error-free. Only one mistake is made for every 10,000 amino acids. When a termination codon enters the A site, translation halts. This is because there is no tRNA with an anticodon that is complementary to any of the stop codons like UAA, UAG and UGA. Termination. The release factor causes the translation complex to fall apart and cleaves the polypeptide from the final tRNA. The polypeptide products is now free to function in a cell. The mRNA molecule is now available to be translated once again. Very often, more than one ribosome will translate a single mRNA at the same time. One ribosome will initiate translation, and after it moves down the mRNA a bit, another ribosome will initiate, then another, and so on. A number of polypeptide can be synthesized on a single mRNA, but all of them will be similar because the same message or information on the mRNA is translated each time. Clusters of 10 to 100 ribosomes can bind to a single mRNA, and each can synthesize a complete polypeptide. Such a cluster of ribosome is called polysome.